Welcome to Whispering Pines Farm's YouTube channel. My name is Jennifer Johnson and I raise Shetland sheep for their wool. In this video, I'm skirting a fleece that's going to be featured in my 2024 auction, fleece auction, which starts June 22nd, 6 p.m. and will conclude a whole week after that on June 29th. And the fleece I'm going to be skirting today is from RU Sojourner. Sojourner is 4 years old. She's a really pretty dark gray catnugget. She almost looks black when you're looking at her in the barn. Sojourner, I Roo'd her fleece, and I think she might have been one of the first ones I Roo'd. Number one, because I have a weird bag it's in, so I didn't standardize on my bags. Number two, I recall that as I observed her, towards we got closer to shearing day, her fleece looked like it was just dripping off. So I wanted to get at it fairly quickly before we had too much loss. So here it is. It's not a big fleece. She's not a big ewe, and she doesn't have a really long staple. But she's incredibly soft and has these really cool charcoal dark gray shades. So I'm observing her tips are a little bit on the blunt side. I went to a coarser coat for some of them. I bought new coats and I went coarser because they were ripping them. And I'm just kind of wondering if this is the result of that. I might end up not using those, or maybe just using them on the rams or something. So here is Sojourner's fleece. So let's get a photo of the whole thing. It's small. I'm not going to have to skirt anything, and it's 22.5. Her mother was on the small side. It's okay. Her spinning fineness is 20.4, so below my flock average this year. Their spinning fineness has changed year to year, so for a lot of different reasons. So her fleece, her spinning fineness could go down on next year's fleece, and that wouldn't surprise me. Look how nicely that just fell. She's got great density. The locks are all holding together really nicely. This beautiful shading. I'm not surprised by this because I know her. She actually is in my little convalescent pen. She's doing great. Probably doesn't need to be in there anymore. It's very demanding. I think I am going to switch her out and put her out with everybody else because she's doing really good. So the convalescent pen right now, I've got English Garden, who's, I don't know how old she is, 14. And then little Juliet, who's very thin. She hardly weighed 50 pounds, and she's, what, 3? But she's in there trying to get her fattened up a little bit. But I see there's a little brown ewe, Aida, who seems to have kind of some runny poopies. I might put her in there and see how she does. But I don't see Sojourner having any problems making the trip out to that pasture. Okay, so we're going to part the fleece and get a photo of that. And then grab one staple. See how we do. I think this is her head. Yeah, this is her head up here. And this is the britch. So we're going to do 5th rib right about here. I think we're going to be at 2 inches with our girl. Yep. And it's, it's going to stretch. If I had to stretch it, it gets another inch, inch and a half. So I said 2-inch staple length. So I would wash this. I would see if these tips open up at all and possibly run it on the drum carder. But to be honest, because the fleece is so dense and the locks are holding together so well, it won't be difficult to grab big sections of lock and flick it or comb it. I just prefer flicking. I did an experiment once where I flicked and combed the same wool from the same ewe as a control to see how much waste I got, and it was pretty much identical. So it's about your preference. I like to spin from the lock. I like a lock to spin from, so don't know why I said that twice. but I just kind of like how that feels. I think it makes me identify better with the ewe. Like I can, you know, her lock structure is part of the character, you know, and by spinning from the lock, I can just derive things. I'm sensing things as I'm spinning, so there is Sojourner. Her base of her fleece is a little on the light side, making me think there might be a little bit of like lanolin built up at the base of the tip, but it's really not. It's going to wash out. It's not flaking. It's not greasy. So, but I'm just going to point it out because it just kind of looks, I don't know, maybe it's because her fleece is on the dark side. So that is Sojourner. Don't think I skirted anything from her, so I think we're done. I think her coat weight is 22.5, and definitely going to put this one in the auction. So hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you can come back soon.